Hello, welcome back to my channel. So I want to talk about this last episode of Love After Lockup, Where Are They Now, that was on Thursday night, doing the updates on Lisa and Stan and Antoine and Lacey. So first, let's start off with Lisa and Stan. So Lisa, at the time of filming this update, she's been out of prison for a little over 48 hours, and she's rocking a new blonde wig, and I can't even describe what she was wearing. It can almost look like a nurse outfit or a flight attendant dress. So Lisa immediately went to go pick up some makeup and new hair as soon as she was released from prison. And her first stop after that was to go see Stan the man, or as I like to call him, Freaky Little Stan. So Stan hooked her up with 4 new wigs. He bought her a cell phone, and the wigs that he got her, they looked so much better compared to the wigs that she had last season. And even Lisa said her wig last season looked like she was rocking some ramen noodles on her head. But I think she still needs to find some other wigs. Like, her wig looked a lot better, I'll give her that. In my opinion, I think Lisa will look a lot better with like a cool tone blonde and get a lace front and have someone who knows what they're doing put it in, install it, and style it. And I think it will look so much better on her, but I get it. She just got out of prison, so she has to make what it do with what she has. So she said that she spends about $75 to $100 on each wig. She wears it for a little bit and then she buys another one. Lisa said she's done getting hair extensions because it's just too much upkeep and maintenance and they take so long to get them. So I'm curious how long Lisa's hair is now underneath the wig, because when she went into prison, her hair was short as hell. And before she went to prison, we can't forget that blessed tattoo she got. And she did talk more about it on the show. And she said she ended up getting that tattoo 2 weeks before she went to prison. And she said she was high as hell. She couldn't feel it at all. And then she woke up 2 days later and even forgot that she had the tattoo. And she's like, what the hell happened? But she says she likes it because it says blessed. But it looks like a straight tweaker did that tattoo in a basement. You can tell whoever did that tattoo had some shaky hands. So Lisa walks up on Stan's house. He opens up the door and he lit up like a Christmas tree. He was so excited to see Lisa, and Lisa and him embraced each other. And they sit down in the living room and Stan was like, well, what all you got right there? So Lisa's like, well, I got my cell phone that you bought me. And she's like, I got my Bible. And then I got my Bible for someone else. And when she said someone else, she had a smile on her face, so you could tell that it wasn't just a someone she was talking about. You could tell it was a special someone. So Lisa told the producers in a confessional that when she got out this time, that she went over to Stan's, and the first thing he wanted to do was take her to the dungeon in the basement. So she went down there and he wanted to show off this new spider web toy he got, which I guess like she's able to put him in it, restrain him and spin him around. And then Stan pulls out the saran wrap and he's like, oh yeah, you ain't gonna be able to move with this wrapped up. And it just had me dying, because if you guys listened to my last video where I talked about this, just like 3 weeks ago, Lisa ended up, I'm pretty sure it was Lisa, because this was posted on Stan's Instagram stories, and I don't see Stan posting this himself, but there's a picture of Stan butt naked on the floor with his dingaling out, with his hand around his dingaling, and he was fully saran wrapped, and you could see that there was a strap on right next to him, and then there's a leg which looked like Lisa's leg. So obviously Stan had to do something to piss Lisa off, because Lisa did the same thing to him and blackmailed him in the past whenever she tried to get money from him and he wouldn't come off any money. So she said that her and Stan hooked up, but now she's going to have to set some boundaries with Stan because she has a new man in her life. So while she was in prison, her brother that we met on her season with Stan, he was like, you know what, you need to find you a good man. And he ended up hooking Lisa up with one of his friends, and they started talking. And she said within a couple weeks she knew that this was the man for her, and they were in love with each other that quick. I was not expecting Lisa's boyfriend to look like this, a country boy. I was expecting him to look more like this ex-boyfriend that she was with a while back, with tattoos and looked like he's been to prison 20 times. So Lisa said while she was in prison, she told Stan a few different times about her new boyfriend, but she feels like Stan's still holding on to hope that they'll one day get back together. And I feel like that's true. So Lisa said that she ended up going to prison last time and she felt really bad when she sobered up about how she treated Stan, because she said Stan's got a really good heart and he's a really good guy. So she called him up, they started talking again, and she's like, you know what, I appreciate what you've done to me, so I'm going to hook you up with my friend Amber. So she did end up coming over to Stan's house one day, and Amber and Stan ended up having dinner at his house. But I guess Lisa ended up bringing up to Amber, like, he likes to be pegged. He has a dungeon in his basement. He's a big time freak. And I guess Amber isn't experienced with all those things and really isn't into pegging people. So I don't know if she's the type of girl for Stan. It takes a special type of girl to be into stuff like that. And that's why I kind of also feel like Stan will always have a special place in his heart for Lisa, because she fulfilled all his wildest fantasies. So Lisa told Stan about her boyfriend in front of the cameras once again. He said he was happy for her. He just hopes that he's a good dude and that he keeps her on the straight and narrow. And Lisa says that she's been sober for a little over 13 months now. And when she went to prison, she decided to do a treatment program in prison. And she went there for like 78 days, I think. It was around that long. And she said it ended up taking off like 6 months off her prison time. So she said that really helped her, and she said she's done with her drug dealing ways and using drugs, and that's a thing of a past. Lisa was also asked about Stan's night terrors, because remember in his season he said that he had dreams and night terrors that he was fighting with aliens. Well, Lisa said that he was having a night terror one night with something like that, with like he was fighting aliens, and he started screaming so loud, and he sleeps with the windows open, and Lisa had to like literally hit him and tell him to stop before somebody called the cops, because she was on probation at the time and she thought one of the neighbors were going to think that she was trying to hurt him. So Lisa said she will always have a special place in her heart for Stan. Stan said the same about her. She said that they just have been through way too much together and they were a huge part of each other's life. But Lisa's got to stop with all the revenge pee, because that's not cool, dropping pictures of people in their private moments with you. And you feel like Stan would have learned his lesson after she's leaked pictures of him before. You think he'd stop letting her take pictures of him in vulnerable positions. So now let's talk about Lacey and Antoine. I accidentally deleted my part of the notes that I had talking about their part, so I'm going to try to remember as much as I can. So Lacey is currently a stay-at-home mom. She is not working. Antoine is working at some distribution facility, and he's the breadwinner. And I gotta say, she must have a lot of faith in that man, because I would never trust Antoine to fully support me and a family. So she's staying at home with the baby all day, and she looks exhausted. But then again, you know, one thing I've noticed with these Where They're Now segments, the lighting is nowhere near as good compared to when they're during their normal seasons. So you can see every little imperfection. I know a baby will make you tired as hell, though. I get it. Ever since I've had my 2 kids, like, my whole permanent mood is tired. But their eyes look so different. I don't know if it was just me who noticed it. I don't know if they smoked a fat blunt before they did this segment or what it was. Or am I the only one who noticed that? But apparently Antoine got arrested a few months ago. And I think this is the whole arrest, the incident that happened whenever he was on the news everywhere, and they had like a hit and run accident. Somebody ran off and they're looking for him, and then they had pictures of Antoine. They're like, have you seen this guy? And people recognized him. They're like, that's Antoine for Love After Lockup. So Antoine was arrested. He had a illegal possession of a firearm. He had distribution charges and some other charge. But he said it was all a case of mistaken identity. It was a whole misunderstanding, and after a few days they let him out. There's no pending charges at this time, no court dates. I remember cracking up when I seen this picture because it just looks like he's out in the woods taking a piss. And this is one of the pictures when they were doing the Most Wanted campaign trying to find him. So Antoine and Lacey, they now have a 10-month-old baby girl. She looks just like the perfect mix of the both of them, but she especially looks like Antoine. And this was filmed back in 3 months ago, so it's November. So this was filmed back in August because they said at the time of filming this she was 10 months and she turned 1 in October. Then Antoine talked about the tragic passing of his mother. So she ended up dying from a result of her alcoholism, and she passed away right before Lacey ended up giving birth to her grandchild, which is super heartbreaking. And Antoine said he did not know what to do with himself because his mom was his best friend. So he literally was trying to do everything he could to keep his mind busy. So he developed a really bad gambling habit, and he said within a 90-day period he blew through over $30,000. He would just turn his phone off and disappear for days at a time at the casino while Lacey was just back home alone. And Lacey said that looking back on it, she feels like a lot of the issues she had with Antoine's mom was just Antoine's mom kind of having a hard time giving up her son because that was her son and they were so close with each other. But besides that, I think that's really all the updates that we got on these two. They were asked if they were willing to have another baby, and Lacey says that Antoine wants another child, and she says she's open to it, and they're not doing anything to prevent a baby. She's not on any type of birth control, so if that happens, it happens. But overall, they seem pretty happy with each other. But that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I do want to give a shout out to the sponsor of this video, and that is Skillshare. So right now, Skillshare is offering all you guys one of the biggest deals of the year, and right now you can get all creative classes 50% off. Skillshare, you can learn a variety of skills. Whatever you're trying to master or skill, I'm sure Skillshare will have a class for you. I've used it in the past to take classes on YouTube editing and different kind of like how to write a YouTube script, how to tell a story, different kind of things to help me with my videos, and it definitely helps. So if you're interested in any of that, you can click the link in the description. You can save 50% off, and this is their Black Friday Cyber Monday deal, biggest sale of the year. So make sure you don't miss out on that if you're interested. Also check out my lashes and cosmetics at AccordingtoAmber.com, and stay tuned for my Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals. With that, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.